So, this is the second start of my episode. I had thought we were recording, and for some odd reason, it didn't record. So that's nice. Um, so we were basically what I was telling about in the last recording that didn't actually happen. Was that me and SampleMan here are doing a Thrown Together RPGs podcast. On JDUB and Friends this time along. So kind of just gonna talk about our favorite RPGs. Gonna ask some questions to you right now and go from there. So hopefully this
Oh
time
yeah, hell yeah.
everything's gonna be a lot better.
Hey, you know,
So since you already know the first question, what is the best RPG of all time?
what is best RPG of all time? Oh, again, you know, I I came at it. I started off not playing many RPGs that much. My first was really Super Mario RPG with the SNES. But you know, if we're going to put my all-time favorite,
Mm,
it's got to be the one that got me into RPGs and it gave me the appreciation of what a Japanese made RPG could be.
mm,
And that is of course the one that came along at the perfect time in my life. It was right at that perfect age, and it was Final Fantasy X.
mm,
I honestly believe that's one of the greatest Final Fantasies ever made,
mm,
and it's an underrated Final Fantasy compared to the behemoths that were 7, 8, and 9.
mm.
You know, 10 just doesn't get that same love as those other three get. But to me, you know, it's gotta be the one that got me into RPGs, and that was the one that I picked up. I went into the Sphere Grid, and I lost myself for hours in the Sphere Grid. It was uh, a buddy of mine. A buddy of mine actually is a mathematician,
Mm-hmm.
and he optimized the Sphere Grid, and he optimized it for maximum damage.
Oh wow, that's when you know you have too much time on your hands.
Exactly.
Like what you do today? Oh, I optimized the sphere grid.
Oh, but his dad had a PhD in mathematics, and
Ah,
he's he's a biostatistician. So
okay. So, since we're talking about Final Fantasy X, who's the best character?
best character, you know, I think the character. It's tough to say because all of them grow so much, but the character that kind of underrated grows a lot in that game? And
Mhm.
you just think of him as a silly jokester? Waka.
Yeah.
Waka grows exponentially throughout that game,
Mhm.
you know, and and you just think of him, oh, he's just that silly joke character. He's there for comedic relief. No, like his entire world gets turned
Yeah.
upside down.
Yep. Definitely. That whole storyline is just crazy from beginning to end. Yeah, that was just kind of a surprise that all that was going on. Then it was even more surprised that Bender Bending Rodriguez voiced him. So.
Right?
So actually, my second question, what is an RPG that hasn't got a remake that needs a remake?
Oh, okay. Selfish reasons. So we'll go. I'll do one for selfish reasons
Mhm.
and one that should get a remake.
Okay.
The selfish reasons one would be Final Fantasy VIII
Mm,
because
mhm,
I think that RPG would I, a final nine holds up
mhm.
to today's you know graphics, and you can just resell that. And seven needed a remake. Eight is the one that also needs a remake,
Mhm.
but that's just for my own selfish reasons. But if we're going to say a game that deserves a remake in a modern sense,
Mm.
I mean, I I gotta go to my favorite series of all time,
Okay.
and that's Suikoden.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Give me Suikoden 1 in a remake in nowadays graphics.
Hmm.
Fuck yeah.
I think they're actually coming out with one and two as remakes, but I'm not 100% sure on that, so don't quote me. But I think they're both coming out.
Mm. If it's a pixel remaster, I can handle that.
That I don't know.
Yeah,
Um,
but if it's just they're just re-uploading it onto different servers, and they're like, hey, by the way, remember that really good RPG series that we used to make, and then we as Konami got rid of all the people that worked on it because we hate our developers.
yeah. So looks like Suikoden 1 and 2 are being remastered.
Oh, okay.
They're
So
H remasters.
so since that answer was taken,
2023.
2023. I need that. I need it now. I guess another one that could get a remake
Mhm.
would definitely be you know what I would love to see in nowadays graphic.
Mm.
Oh my god.
A lot of
I would love I would love to see uh oh my god. Work with me here. I have it in my head and it just blanked on me.
I understand it completely.
Well, we'll just say my answer is Final Fantasy VIII, and when I think of it, I'll start.
Yeah, mine's Legend Dragoon. I love that game. It's like the best RPGs I've ever played. I'm sorry for all those people that love, Final Fantasy 7, Final Fantasy 9,
Yep.
10, anything like that. I just Legend Dragoon, just that addition system is amazing. Being able to turn a dragoon, the storyline, I mean, just incredible from beginning to end. The bosses you fight, everything like that. I mean, so iconic, but sadly, hasn't been remastered or even given a sequel, even a prequel. I'll be cool with either any of it. So,
Any
uh,
give
oh, good.
give us something.
Yeah, right. That's what I'm saying. Like, I could see like the way they could do Dragoons nowadays would be insane. The stories they could, even do like a DLC with Lloyd, DLC
Oh,
with Zeke, and just whole story. They could even do a DLC of the beginning, the original Dragoons if they wanted to, up to the beginning
yep,
of the, first game. So,
exactly. And I finally thought of my answer.
oh yeah,
It was Final Fantasy Tactics.
oh yeah. I actually have not played that
Fi-
yet.
Final Fantasy Tactics is such a damn good game, and it it's dark. I love it.
Mhm.
And I would love to see it in like you could put that on the Switch as a strategy RPG and be like, hey, for people that like Fire Emblem, you'd love this.
Yeah, yeah. I have actually never played Final Fantasy Tactics. I've wanted to, but it was also really expensive. And then
Oh yeah, Tactics is up there.
yeah, that was like, well, I can buy it on my PS3, and then I'm like, oh yeah, my PS3 is not with me, so I can't buy it on PS3 right now.
Well,
So,
I actually bought that game in like '98 at store closing of Montgomery Ward.
oh man, that's an old school store. I remember those. That was old,
I
old school.
oh yeah, that's old school.
Remember that was one of the stores that was one of the mall stores always all the time, no matter what mall you went to, it was on the always in there.
Hmm. Oh
Uh,
yeah,
so
we're dating ourselves.
yeah, you ain't kidding. Kmart was still big when I was a kid. That says
Oh yeah.
something. Um, well, we kind of answered this next question, but what the RPG that is dearest to your heart?
Ooh, dearest to my heart. I mean, I got quite a few of them, like Code 3,
Mhm.
near and dear, Final Fantasy 10. Uh, like the games. I was looking over that list and it said Stardew Valley. I could agree with that.
Mhm.
Stardew Valley is another one that's really close to my heart.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like those games are each an amazing journey and experience in their own right.
Right. Yeah, I haven't played Stardew Valley yet. I should, but I haven't. I haven't played that, and I haven't played Undertale, and everybody talks
I
about
mean,
those two.
you know a game that's in the farming sim genre that is not on that list you linked and
Mhm.
should be on there. Harvest Moon 64.
Oh yeah, I have never played
How
Harvest Moon.
da- how dare they not Harvest Moon 64? I I spent too much too much freaking time playing that game.
Mhm.
So that's another one that's very near and dear to me as well.
I understand. Yeah, I've seen a lot of people play Harvest Moon. Never played it myself. Thought about it, and like I said, everything gets expensive nowadays. Games are getting
Oh yeah.
expensive, even
I
old
mean,
games.
I bought that Harvest Moon at at Wizards of the West Coast this fall. It was just on the very corner of the store, and I bought it there. I couldn't find it anywhere else. They had it there. I bought it, and that's how I got my copies.
Yeah, they're probably the
They
most.
like
Oh,
they
good.
had like 12 games on that side. That was one of them. I was like, hell yeah.
Yeah, probably the most expensive game I bought would probably be Xenoblade Chronicles.
Oh damn.
And that was $70 when I bought it, and now because it's come to the Wii, or yeah, to the Switch, price for the Wii one's gone down a lot because now it's, able
Oh
to
yeah,
play it on the
widely
Wii.
available.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I've been asking
Yep.
you about your favorite RPGs that's near to your heart and that need a remake. So I thought I'd go the other direction. What is the worst RPG you have played?
Oh. Oh God. Huh. Oh. Worst RPG. You know what? I have an answer for that.
Okay.
I have an answer. And I love the series,
Hmm.
but there's one game in this series that there's actually two answers to this, and they're both the black sheep of the series.
All right.
And I love the series, but those games are very bad.
Mm-hmm.
Or and one of them is Suikoden 4.
Mm. Okay.
The best selling game in the franchise is also happens to be the worst game in the franchise, set 200 years before every other game in the mainline series.
Yeah. Finish your first mistake.
You just can't do that. You can't do that. And the other one is Disgaea 3.
Okay.
Disgaea 3, you have a fantastic 1 and 1, you have a fantastic 1 and 2, and then this Gaia 3, I hate the protagonist. I legitimately hate the protagonist. I hate a large contingent of the characters.
Hmm.
And they waste one of the best characters in the series because he's in that game. Every every other character in that game is irredeemable and annoying to deal with. And then you have poor Elmas stuck in that game. Oh, and Mr. The 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 ninja cook guy, Champloo.
Samurai Champloo.
Yeah, good lord, those two are the best characters in that game.
Mm.
Otherwise, irredeemable. Oh my god! And imagine an RPG where you backtrack through the same area
Mhm.
multiple times.
Yeah, I have not played enough. I mean, I played a lot of RPGs, just kind of the niche ones I haven't played. Like, just got into Disgaea 1. I actually just bought it on the PS4.
Ooh,
The
good.
complete, yeah, complete edition, it said. Um,
Oh man.
yeah, and then have just started trying to get into oh, what's the other one I just started trying to get into? I forget the name of it. It'll pop in my head. I'll tell you all later. But yeah, I would say one of my least favorite RPGs, and this may shock a lot of people, but Did you ever play Breath of Fire or Dragon Quarter when it came to the PS2?
Breath of Fire. Oh man, I did not, but I did see it
It
advertised and shit like that.
it wasn't like that was bad. It was really difficult at the very beginning, which was really weird. Like usually RPGs will build you up into it, but it was like all of a sudden it was like if you don't know what you're doing right away, you're dead. It's like
Yeah,
okay.
that hurt.
So I was like that was one of the games I was like, um.
Right.
So you actually kind of asked this answer this question too, but what got you in RPGs? Like what started you that
I
RPGs?
mean, uh, uh, my first RPG, I got it, the Super NES was Mario RPG,
Mm.
and I I I never got into it because I was in that I was when that game came out. I was like, oh, what year did Mario RPG come out? That was 96.
It's been a while. I
Yeah,
know.
it's like 96 or something like that. So I was a teenager when that game came out, and I was just like, sports game. I'd rather play sports games,
Yeah.
or I'd rather play, fighting games or that sort of stuff.
Mhm.
I like I said in the last thing, I'm kind of streaky in eras, and that time frame, I was big into fighting games, racing games, and sports games.
Mm.
And then Final Fantasy 10 came out right around when I was like 19. I think that game came out in 2002. I'm pretty sure. And
Yeah.
and it came out perfect time because I was just coming out of that sports game, like that that sort of era.
Hmm.
It's like I wanted story based stuff, and that game came out at the perfect time, and I was hooked.
Hmm.
And you know, if it wasn't for that game, then I don't get that urge to just buy a bunch of RPGs. I went crazy buying RPGs after that.
Yeah. So the Super Mario RPG came out May 13th of 1996.
Okay.
So
It was 96, so yeah, I was 13 when that game came out.
yep, I was 6. Sorry.
That game came out when I was 13, and I liked it because it wasn't a traditional RPG.
Hmm. I
You know.
Yeah, I definitely think it did well because I hate to say it, but because of the Mario at that time was so hot that anything attached to Mario was gonna blow up.
Oh yeah.
So I mean,
Oh yeah.
nothing against that, but it's definitely one of the reasons I believe that game blew up, and the story was great after that. After you got through, that whole thing, which actually is getting a remake this year, so it comes out in November.
Yep.
Um,
And I'm waiting on buying it because I've already played through it a few times.
and
Just put it that way.
I bought it on the Wii Virtual Console when that was still a thing.
Oh yeah.
Um,
R.I.P.
yeah, which I'm sorry, nothing. I just don't understand why Nintendo got rid of the Virtual Consoles for Wii, Wii U. I mean, I guess Wii U I understand a little bit, but like 3DS stuff like that.
Here, have your 7 games a month,
Yeah.
maybe.
But uh, now I decided, what we'll just talk about RPGs as a whole tonight. As you can tell with the questions.
Oh
Uh,
yeah.
so we will get into first thing. Some of these may be spoilers if you haven't played them. Because RPGs are basically telling a great big story from beginning to end. But RPGs compared to other games have done deaths a lot better in my opinion. Um,
Yeah.
like I know like Gears of War 3, spoiler alert, one of the main characters dies in that, but
Yep.
you feel like that character, you're like, okay, that's cool. I understand why, but it's like at the same time, you don't feel as connected to him as you do the other main character. Uh,
Right.
but like in RPGs, for example, another spoiler alert for anybody who's not played Legend Dragoon, Levitz is one of the main characters in Legend Dragoon, and he dies on disc one. However, at that point, you're kind of getting attached to him. You're understanding why he's doing the stuff he's doing. He's trying to protect his home country, Basil, from his from Emperor Dole, who is actually his King Albert, which is his king, Livit's king, his uncle. So it's a whole
Right.
story about it, and you kind of feel good because the whole basically you've had Livitz since almost the beginning of the game,
Right.
and he's kind of made you feel he's a good Akindi and everything like that. You can kind of feel like you faded him, but I feel like that's one of the top RPG deaths of all time. Is that what's some of your favorite RPG deaths of all time and ones that you think are done
Some
really well?
some that were done really well, and I don't know if you've played Trails of Cold Steel.
I have not yet.
Oh man, all right. So I'll put it this way:
Okay.
Chancellor, Chancellor
Hmm.
Osborne's death is a major story point
Okay.
for why certain things happen.
Hmm.
And I loved how it was told, and I love the twist that comes from it.
Hmm.
And it's very well done, and it causes another of my favorite characters to get shot. It's a convoluted, it's wonderful, it's amazingly executed. One of my all-time favorite twists in a video game.
Hmm.
There's a lot of twists in that series, and it's really good. And man, oh man, I wish more people would play Trails of Cold Steel through. I'm only on the third game, so I'm interested to see where 4 goes, and then Trails into Reverie and all that fun stuff. But like, just on the ride,
Hmm.
like last year when I played through that death
Yeah.
was a very interesting pivotal moment. And it's that for me it's a memorable moment
Hmm. Yeah. I.
because it sets so much in motion.
Yeah, I like how you're trying not to tell spoilers at the same time. Like, how do I put this without telling? I'm just like, hey, guess what?
Yeah,
This guy dies. Have fun.
yeah, yeah. This guy dies, but
Yeah.
the 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 journey you go on after that death
Mhm.
is a fantastic journey. Please play the game. All the games.
Yeah, I'll definitely have to do that. So I just found a list of some RPG deaths. Some of them are spoilers. Good grief, if I could get out. So if you don't want to hear about it, and two of them are actually from your favorite series. Do you know which two? Actually, three of them are from your favorite series. They're
Ooh,
three playable characters.
okay.
Uh,
I'm listening.
one was Ted, is
Oh,
Suikoden
okay.
one.
Yep.
Yep. So he was a. I'm just kind of reading through some of these. Ted Suikoden one. I figure you probably know a little bit about that one more than I do. I
Oh
just
yeah.
started into it, so um, yeah.
There.
Oh, Tella from Final Fantasy IV. I forgot about him.
Oh geez.
Did you ever play Final Fantasy IV?
I did not. That
Uh,
oh, man.
that's
My first Final Fantasy was 10, and then I went back and bought 7, and then I bought 8, then I bought 9. And I've played through them all in a row.
4 is
Yeah.
incredible. 4 is really good.
Ooh. Okay.
Um, That's a great story. Cecil, Kane, you have Sid's, I think, one of his first appearances in the Final Fantasy series. Because when it came over here, it was Final Fantasy 2, but it was really Final
Okay.
Fantasy 4. It's that weird thing with that
Oh yeah.
Square did at the beginning
Where?
because Final Fantasy 6 when it came over here was actually Final Fantasy 3. Just weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's a great character. But yeah, you definitely need if you have a PSP. I'd get the PSP version of Final Fantasy IV because it's more complete. It comes with the regular game, it comes with the interlude, and it comes with actually what happens after Final Fantasy IV too. So,
Ah, see, I was like, oh man, I'm pixel remastered. Here it comes.
right. Uh, Go ahead.
Oh, uh, that I mean, like legitimately, now you're selling me on the pixel. Oh, time to spend even more money.
Yep. Now, let's see. Suikoden 3 has a death.
Ooh,
Uh,
oh yeah, if it's the one I'm thinking about.
yep. He was in the first and second Suikoden games.
Oh my god. Oh my god. How? Who is it? I know it. Brain is just not working tonight.
He was a true antagonist of Suikoden 3.
True antagonist. It's not Luke.
It is Luke.
God damn it. It was Luke. I forgot Luke died. God damn.
Yep. Yeah, he yeah, a lot of people loved him in the first two games. I know that, but watched a lot of people play the first couple
Yeah.
games.
Yeah. A boy Luke. I forgot Luke died. God damn it.
Yeah, which kind of
Yeah, I haven't played that game in a while. I need to go back and play through that. It has my other friend Uber in there. Little Uber and Sarah,
and the
that whole crew.
price of that game's gone up too, incredibly
Oh,
expensive.
all the PS2 Suicune, I'm pretty sure are pretty expensive now.
Yeah, it's just like what the heck?
I know five's pretty expensive. I
Hmm.
pre-ordered that day one. I have like an art kit with that one.
Oh, let's see. So did you play Tales of Destiny?
No, oh no, no,
Okay, me
man,
either.
goddamn.
uh,
Like I'm trying to think of other cool ones.
yeah. There's another one from your series.
Ooh,
It was in the first Suikoden.
oh my god.
She was only playable during one dungeon trip though, but um, she had
Oh,
she was the leader of the Liberation Army for a minute.
oh my god. I have her name on the tip of my.
Yeah.
Oh,
Starts
I
with
can't remember. I haven't played Suicune 1 in a long time.
so you need to go back apparently. No, so Odessa Silverberg. I remember watching people play that
Oh
one,
yeah, yeah.
and she dies, and that was kind of surprising for some people.
Oh yeah.
Um, but I think I'm gonna put this out there. I think it's probably true, but the most iconic, you know,
Oh oh yeah.
death in RPGs is probably Ares from Final Fantasy
Oh
VII.
oh yeah, yeah.
Um,
I
I,
mean it's that that scene. Everyone knows that scene.
yeah, yeah, it was just kind of like all of a sudden, what? That's surprising. But yeah, it was just kind of like, oh, okay,
It'll
wow.
be very it'll be very interesting when the remake comes out to see
Hmm.
how they handle that scene.
Yeah, that's what I'm kind of wondering about because with the I haven't played the remakes yet 'cause I have the original, and I'm like, I don't know if I want to play the remake yet, but definitely, definitely big into that stuff, into the deaths because it feels like a lot of them, move the story along or are, really hit you in the feels and everything like that.
Yeah.
Fine, like Final Fantasy X, has the one of can't think of the character's name, um, where I can't think of the person's name that doesn't really. It's not like one of the main characters, but
Right. Side
yeah,
character. My God. Not it's none of the Elpad guys.
no, I can't think. I'll think of it later too.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, the way that they even explain death in Final Fantasy X is great. They have um oh gosh, main bad guy of Final Fantasy X before Sin comes.
Oh, Seymour.
Seymour, thank you. How he kills his mom was a big,
Yeah,
plot point there. I think he kills, or it might be his dad. I forget. It's one of the two. But
I
yeah,
think
go ahead.
my favorite dead guy that's a party member is Orin.
Yeah, that was a big surprise. That Orin was dead. So that was kind of roll off. They have the whole uh story about how his Titus's dad becomes Sin. That's great. Spoiler alert. Sorry. But that's game's 22 years old, so everybody should play that by now. And they've had remakes come out and remasters, so
There's the HD remasters out there. Buy it, play it, and get to that point. You'll like it.
yeah. I just feel like the way they had, Sin come in and then Yuna did the send offs for all the all the people are dead. They kind of hit, close to home. Watching the home of Riku and all them get destroyed. The Albed,
Yeah,
that one,
yeah.
it's a lot of death in that, but just as a full whole, I feel like RPGs are just really good at it. Um,
Oh yeah.
oh, good.
I mean, I 100% agree. I think RPGs overall, uh, for, handle death probably the best of any of the various media.
Mhm.
Like in FPS, you're running around with a gun shooting people in the face. You can't have a poignant death in an RPG or in a FPS. It's like I'm going around shooting about 15 of these people in the face, and we're like, oh no, poor Bobby
Mhm.
over there died.
Yep. Yeah,
You know,
I think there's a lot of stuff that needs to come back, in art, like in video games as a whole. I just feel like a lot of the storylines and some of the games now it's like huh,
I think, yeah, especially nowadays where things are all broken at the beginning.
mhm,
You know, it really hurts. I will say that I think Final Fantasy 16
mhm,
overall is a step in the correct direction for AAA. That game is I I know people are out there and they're like, it's an action game. It's not really an RPG.
mhm.
Oh, it's an RPG.
True.
And you can be an action game and an RPG.
Look at
I
Kingdom
mean,
Hearts.
I look at a few of the other Tales games as
Hmm.
well recently. Tales of Arise, that was an action game disguised as an RPG.
Hmm.
You know, like give me a break.
True. So I have a couple more things we're going to talk about with RPGs. Is there any RPGs that you're looking forward to this year? Maybe like give me a
Oh
top
hell,
five RPGs you're looking for, or a couple, however many you want to, but just a few.
hell yeah. I mean, I'll put it out there that, of course, me being a big Disgaea guy, and I've bought every Disgaea for every freaking console, man. Uh, Disgaea 7 coming out this year, is definitely one of the games I'm definitely looking forward to.
Hmm.
It it's going to be it's going to be just really good.
Hmm.
Uh, another another one that just recently came out that I need to buy.
Hmm.
Uh, Trails into Reverie. I
Okay.
won't be able to play it very because I've been streaming the rest of them,
Hmm.
so it would take me a while to get there. But Trails into Reverie is another one. And uh, because I love Yeez,
Hmm.
the next Yeez 10.
Oh yeah.
I want Yeez 10. Yeez 10 is going to be my next buy as well. So those are kind of the 3 RPGs I'm looking forward to. Uh,
Yeah,
the major one. Like, uh, one under the radar one is Yuden Chronicle. Or it's from the makers of Suikoden.
Mhm.
So you know, I can't wait to recruit 108 characters again. Great.
Yeah, that's a lot of characters to get.
That's gonna be fun.
Let's.
Radiata stories back on the old PS2. That's crazy recruitment.
Yeah, I'm actually looking through right now, kind of getting a look of the RPGs coming out. So let's see. There's a few more coming out this month. What's today? Today is the
14.
yeah. Let's see. Now you know. So Jagged Alliance 3 just came out on the PC. If anybody cares. But you got I think This Way Menace Lies. A lot of people are talking about coming out for the Switch. That one I remember getting a lot of story about on the Nintendo Directs. Let's see, they got Baldur's Gate 3's coming out in August. I'm just going through the last couple. Baldur's Gate 3 on the PS5 is coming out in September. So anybody has a PS5 and wants Baldur's Gate, there you go. One of the few games I haven't played yet. Let's see. October actually has a new Disgaea coming out. Disgaea 7.
Yep. Good old 7.
Let's see. Nothing else that pops in my mind there. Star Ocean, which I believe I'm gonna say this right now, very underrated RPG series. Um,
Oh yeah, that I forgot that comes out this year.
yeah,
Shit.
November 2nd. That comes out. Yeah, very underrated RPG series. I would totally play it if you haven't. Star Ocean Till the End of Time. Great RPG on PS2.
Yep.
Super Mario RPG comes out November 17th, remake. And it's about big ones this year, so um the front mission remakes too, if anybody's interested. Uh now and then the Suikoden 1 and 2 also too. Um Now my question for you is what is like if you had to tell somebody right now like you need to play these 5 RPGs or RPG series, what would they be?
5 RPG or RPG series.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want a bunch of games to play,
Mhm.
you go play Final Fantasy 1 through 16 minus the 2 MMOs. Unless you want to play the MMO that's out right now, Final Fantasy 14, and then get addicted for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
That would be one series I would say to try out. Uh, Another series, of course, my favorite, one of my favorite strategy RPG series
Mhm.
is Gaia. You gotta give those a shot, and also know that the main story is about 40% of the game, and that the main if you want to experience the true joy, you want to go and try to beat the the major bosses at the end of the game, which have millions and millions of HP,
Mhm.
and you need to be thousands and thousands of levels.
Yep.
Uh, Another series that I would suggest is, and if you can find it or obtain it through other means, wink, wink. Uh, Suikoden. That is obviously, one of them. A game that I think is highly underrated that a lot of people I think should play. Radiata Stories.
Mm.
Very good, whimsical, really funny.
Mhm.
Made by Square Enix. And the last RPG series that you guys should probably give a like could go
Mhm.
Trails of Cold Steel is a good series, and the Tales of series as my last 5A 5B. Like that's a lot of games in those series.
Mhm.
You can enjoy a wide variety of storylines in all those different game series right there.
Yeah, I totally agree. I want to try Suikoden. The Tales of games I've seen you play. I've seen Bill Fajita play. Um,
Oh yeah.
uh, I, I think he played one like a demo or something. One. But yeah, I was thinking of like what my five would be. And I was like, what five could I have? And I was thinking, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go a little different. There's a lot of people that like are, let's go play Final Fantasy. Go play this, that, then the other. It's like, all right,
Mm,
but like I feel like there's some RPGs that just either A fell by the wayside, didn't get enough love, or
right.
B are older past RPGs. So instead, so what I'm gonna do, because y'all are gonna think it's weird, is I'm going to start at not Super Nintendo because I feel like Super Mario RPG, Lunar Silver Story, all that stuff. Um, I am going to start with one from the PlayStation era. I'm gonna do one from the Dreamcast, PlayStation 2, Xbox 360, then just kind of move my way up. But so if I was gonna start with the PlayStation era, um, an RPG that I definitely would say to play on PlayStation or N64 or I can't think of the other console that came out at the same time. Why am I drawing a blank? Um, wow, I'm sorry. I'm just
What
looking at my.
is it the Saturn?
Yeah, at this kind of the same time, yeah. Um, but the one I would say, besides Legend of Dragoon, because everybody, that's a big one for me personally, but I feel like it gets its love, but it doesn't get as many as it should. Uh, but I honestly would say to try out Wild Arms.
Ooh.
Any of the
Oh
wi-
yes. Yep.
any of the Wild Arms games, Wild Arms 1 came out in those um, PlayStation. Wild Arms 3 on the PS2 is incredible. I feel like a lot more
Wild
people
Arms.
have played Wild Arms 3. So I was like, you know what? Just gonna do it this way. So yeah, Wild Arms definitely one that a lot of people need to play it. I feel like it doesn't hasn't got the love that it deserves. Um,
I love Wild Arms 3. Wild Arms 3.
it's incredible. I'm blown away every time I play it.
You want a final boss? That's a fucking final boss.
Yep. So let's see, PlayStation 2 era, people are like, you're probably wanting to go, Final Fantasy 10, Sweet Code in 3, you know, um, all the big name ones that came on the PS2, but I'm actually going to go with the Dreamcast. Um,
Mm,
Now, Dreamcast had a few good RPGs, not, you know, as many, had more than the Xbox, the original Xbox did, which is kind of sad. But what I would say for the Dreamcast, I mean, you got your Grandia 2, which is a lot of people's played. That was came on the PS2. If you haven't played Grandia up 2, play it on the Dreamcast. Way better, a lot better camera, a lot better music, a lot better setup compared to the PS2. It kind of when they moved it to the PS2, it did not great. But what I would say for the PS2 or the Dreamcast PS2 era, whatever you want to call it, I would say actually to go with Evolution. Um,
ooh.
yeah, Evolution was incredible. They had Evolution: The World of Sacred Device and Evolution 2: Far Off Promise that both came out on the Dreamcast. They moved them to the GameCube eventually, but it's just I don't know something about the original um, playing them on the original Dreamcast is just incredible and fun and everything like that. Um,
Right.
so then we move to the 360 PS3 era. I'm actually gonna go with the 360. They didn't have many RPGs at that time, but I feel like the best RPG they actually had that came out with was oh wow, I can't not all of a sudden I just completely drew a blank. Give me a second.
Oh.
I just had to look. I was like, all right, I'm gonna look it up now. Um, but it was a RPG. It was exclusive to the Xbox. Xbox only had three exclusive RPGs for anybody that's like, wow, that's terrible. I mean, Fable, I guess you can consider an RPG. But uh, Lost,
Yeah.
yeah, Lost Odyssey was what it's called. Um,
Oh yeah, yeah.
yep, it came on the Xbox 360. It came out, I believe, midway through the Xbox 360's life, but it was just incredible. The story was great. Just all around. It was weird because it was a three disc game compared to what the what the PS4 had at that point, or PS3 had at that point, where because Final Fantasy 13 both came out on both consoles, and on the Xbox 360 it was two discs compared to one disc for the PS3. But Lost Odyssey was made in 2008 actually, so it was kind of, at that point, one of the best, personally, RPGs that I had played, besides, the classics. Um, but I would say PS4, PS5, I'm not going to talk about because I feel like we're still in that little section. So I'm going to give you two more from the Dreamcast, or one from the Dreamcast era, and another one from the PS2 era. Um, from PS2, I would definitely say to try and get, or not Dreamcast, PS2, they're the same thing. Um, I would say in PS2 era for RPGs, if you ever get a chance, it's kind of expensive now, because it was big and it kind of took off. But Dark Cloud 2,
Oh, oh yeah. Okay.
Dark Cloud 2 was incredible on the PS2. That is one that I was blown away. Level 5. Sorry, I'm reading my notes as I'm doing it because I was thinking about before we started talking. So if anybody sees me looking down, that's why. But yeah, it came out in 2002 as an action RPG. Storyline's great. One of my favorite voice actors of all times, actually, named Mark Hamill. Um,
Oh man.
he plays in it. But just incredible RPG. It was kind of a dungeon type crawler, but it was also, lot walk. You can walk around, build houses. It was just incredible.
Oh yeah.
Blew my mind away back when it first came out. Now this last one, um, it may surprise some people, um, but I feel like it didn't get enough love because I feel like it could have been. It was mostly, how do I say this? Trying to think of how to say this without it sounding dumb. But I think that if you never had the chance, trying to think of how to say it without it, if you never had the chance to get um, a console, before the PS2, before the PS1, or before the um, in between the Dreamcast, when that came out around the PS2 time. But they also, on the Dreamcast, had another RPG that came out, that I always loved, and um, it just felt like it it precursored the Pirates of the Caribbean, in a way that I was like, you know what? Screw it. I'm enjoying this. Was Skies of Arcadia.
Oh yep. I've heard of that one.
That one was another one that I definitely enjoyed, for the Dreamcast. That was the main problem with the Dreamcast. It just didn't get the love it deserved. So those two
Yeah.
Dreamcast RPGs are really good. There's a lot of RPGs for Dreamcast. If you get a chance to buy one, definitely buy one. I would. I know it's hard to find games, but I would just get them. But yeah, that one, those two definitely are my favorites. But I mean, I just feel like, that's five RPGs. I went a little long on mine. Sorry about that.
Oh, it's good. It's good. I want to hear all that. And if you want a game to look up that is not well known,
Mm,
uh, it's something I've played in the past. It's Cardia: The World of Fate on
mm,
the PlayStation 1. you guys want to watch a let's play of something or experience something, it I wouldn't say it's groundbreaking or anything. It's just something that is really I thought was pretty good,
Mhm.
and uh you know
Yeah, I'm.
just,
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
just no, it's just something that uh if you want to watch something of RPG related,
Mhm.
it's it's definitely a, a good watch.
Definitely. Yeah, I definitely enjoy RPGs, Dragon Quest, Dragon Warrior, whatever you want to call it nowadays. Got changed
Oh
so many
yeah.
times. That's a great series. I played a bunch of those. Final Fantasy. Another one I thought of just off the top of my head. That I played, enjoyed a lot, even though it got terrible reviews, which I don't know why.
Yeah. Uh,
Yeah, right. But this is a sixth game, just in case. But Arc the Lad, Twilight of the Spirits on the PS2.
another one that I own and have played.
Yeah,
Very good.
it,
Very good.
it got bad reviews for some odd reason. I don't know why. Whatever.
You know what it is. The the reviewers probably couldn't understand the concept of how to actually do battle and shit.
Hmm. Yeah,
How do you do it?
that'd be my guess. But yeah, I
Runs into a wall.
right. But yeah, that's the sixth game that I think a lot of people should play. It's just RPGs as a whole. I've done very well over the years.
Oh yeah.
I believe if you go for it, I mean, if you've never tried an RPG, I would definitely. I know people. I know, there's a lot of RPGs that you could try out. Like Bill, the Sample Man said, definitely Final Fantasy X is an easy one to get into. The story's
Mhm.
really good. But it's definitely one of those games that you could start from there and kind of
Persona
break.
5 is a really good one to get into, really. You
I'm
know?
Yeah, I'm gonna be surprising and say Persona 4 Golden actually is one I would get into before Persona 5 Royal.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if you want to get into a Persona game, start with 4.
Hmm. But yeah, I would definitely, start with that one. If you don't care about, if you want cliche like going to the five or six that I said, five that Bill said. Those are more kind of cliche, kind of you don't
Yeah.
really play them, as much as often. They're kind of smaller, not as popular as they could be. But
Oh, yeah.
yeah, but yeah, if you have any questions, I'm on Twitter at SoccerFW5. You have any questions to RPGs? I know I got some viewers last week, and one comment last week from Mike. So thank you, Mike. Used to be a coworker of mine. Trying to get him and
Oh,
a
man.
couple my coworkers on here for talk about our old jobs. So we'll see what happens.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, Bill is a sample man. You're on the sample man on Twitter too, right?
I am at TheSampleMan.
Yeah.
It's TEH Sample Man. Because apparently a coupon place took my name. I'm very happy, and they haven't been active in 10 years.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So whenever that gets freed up, I'm gonna take it.
Sounds like a
But
plan.
someone's gonna take it now.
Yeah, but thank you for this coming kind of just throwing together episode 7 with me.
Hell, hell yeah.
Um
I like a little bit of chaos.
right. Yeah, so the front of the beginning of this episode, I'm not even gonna edit this whole episode. I'm just gonna throw it on there like that. So
Hell yeah. Go.
just to see what you all how if you don't get anything set up and don't have everything perfect, you just kind of throw it together and see what happens. um
Hey,
but do you have any other places you like to shout out? I know you're still on Twitch.
I I do my Twitch thing at twitch.tv, the Sample Man, streaming some Advance Wars 2 Black Hole
Hmm.
Rising, and probably starting in early September, we're gonna be starting Halloween shit
Oh yeah,
for like month and a half, 2 months.
I would
Because I'm crazy with Halloween games.
now if sorry, my ear was starting to hurt. If you have a chance, and I don't know if you do ROMs or not, because the game's really expensive and for the Dreamcast, so good luck finding it. But for an RP or for a horror game that you might enjoy is Illbleed. Came on the Dreamcast.
Oh,
It's really weird. This is a different type of horror game, so if you definitely get a ROM for Dreamcast, check out Illbleed. I think you would enjoy a lot.
hell yeah,
So,
hell yeah.
do you have when's your next stream?
Next stream is tomorrow, actually, Saturday. Every Saturday I run a wrestling show
Mhm.
on Twitch as well, and have video game characters or just digital based content characters fight each other for my amusement.
Yeah.
It's great.
Well, thank you again. Gonna have you probably on again to talk about football next time.
Oh man.
Yeah, we
Well,
got football coming up pretty soon. Yeah, was it
football.
September?
I will be doing better in our league. I will not come in last this year.
Yeah,
Not happening.
I came in second 2 years in a row, and then last year I just had a horrible down year. Injuries killed me, and ended up
Yep.
fourth. So hopefully I
Yep.
can come back and win it. So as long as Sarah doesn't beat me.
Yep. As long as Sephiroth doesn't fly from the sky and stab one of my characters in the chest, we're
True.
good.
True. On actually what's gonna be kind of cool because I'm thinking about doing it and you'll actually Sample Man will be on there. I think a few other people will be on the thing, but I'm gonna actually kind of record that whole thing as a podcast while we're all talking and doing the um
Hell yeah.
live talk about, who we're drafting. So
Well, taking my taking my everyone taking my goddamn picks in fantasy football.
yeah.
God damn it.
So we're gonna definitely enjoy that. Bill, actually, if you'd be interested, one of these days I'm actually going to do a Royal Rumble live watch along. So if you want to come to that, you're included that. That's going to be one of my big podcasts too. We're going to do a live watch along of the
Oh
Royal
man.
Rumble. So you're
Oh man.
if you're interested in that, Bill, that's something that definitely we're going to also a lot more coming up. JDUB and Friends podcast.
Hell yeah.
So stick around. This will be the worst episode of them all, just because everything's
Hey,
thrown together. So
hey, you know what? You know this is going to be your most viewed one.
right, yeah, I'm gonna put that in the title too. I'll be like, RPGs featuring SampleMan in quotation or in
You
parentheses.
won't believe what happens
Yeah,
next.
worst episode.
Worst episode ever recorded.
Right.
Case lost.
Yeah. So, but thank you. Actually, I took you a little bit over
Hey,
your time limit, so I'm sorry about that.
all good. I'm gonna be doing a few things that I need to get done. So.
Yeah, me too. I got finished some dishes. So thank you
Oh yeah.
again.
Yep. Yep.
Thank you for all the comments. Thank you for the new subscribers. Thank you for everybody. Thank you for the RPGs that you brought to my attention that I've actually never played. So I'm going to play some of the RPGs that you told me about too.
Oh yeah.
Um, but enjoy the rest of your night. Um,
Yep.
enjoy that warm weather in Michigan while it lasts.
Oh yeah. Well, before it starts snowing in about 2 months.
Yep. Yep. So, well, thank you all again for watching this episode. Hopefully you made it to the end. We'll see how everything goes. We'll see. Maybe I get the most views on this one. But thank you all again, and thank you, Bill. Have a great
Yep.
rest of your night, everybody.